name is John Grandy. The Royal Humane Society has been a jewel in my life for 35 years, and my father's before me, and it is my privilege to be the chairman of the Society, especially during this, our 250th year of recognising those who by their own self-sacrifice have saved the lives of others. As part of our anniversary, we want to share with you, from our archive, some of the amazing stories of bravery and the saving of life, with one per day for each of the 250 days leading up to our celebration in September. The Society was founded in 1774 by two doctors who were pioneering methods of resuscitation from drowning, as not many people could swim at that time. To give you some perspective, it was in the same year that the famous explorer Captain Cook and his crew in HMS Adventure got to within about 1,100 miles of the South Pole, and King George III, who later in 1783 became our first royal patron, levied a tax on colonists protesting in Boston against the British Parliament's tax on tea under the slogan "No taxation without representation." This became known as the Boston Tea Party, an iconic event in American history. So here we are in 1774, our very first case, taken from a transcript of the Society's annual report concerning the saving of life following a potentially fatal incident on July the 12th of that year on the River Thames, where so many of our cases have occurred. The language of the day is unchanged. Thomas, the son of John Joseph, a child aged about 14 months, dwelling by the iron foundry near the Falcon Stairs, wandering from its mother and other women who were drinking tea together in a chandler's shop, got into a back kitchen and fell through a trap, the door of which was carelessly left open, into an aqueduct communicating with the River Thames. The women heard it fall and ran to the place, but could not perceive the child. Their screams brought a shoemaker, who lived in an adjacent house to the place, but he was fearful of jumping in, lest he should fall upon the child. Thomas Vincent, a waterman, who was amongst the crowd brought together by the cries of the distressed mother, being informed of the event, ran round by several houses, and climbing over the walls of the aqueduct, waded up to the place to the height of his chest in the water. Proceeding cautiously and feeling for the infant with his feet as he advanced, for he imagined the returning tide might have carried it to a distance from the place. Nor was he altogether deceived, as he felt the child about 10 feet from the opening. He took it up and gave it to the women through the hole through which it had fallen. From 7 to 10 minutes must have passed from the falling in of the child to the time it was taken out. The women, upon the strictest examination, affirmed that the child was to all appearance dead. Its eyes were fixed, it lay breathless, and void either of motion or pulse. They shook and beat it on its back for some little time, and laying it upon a counter in the shop, rubbed its belly and chest with dry salt. The friction was scarcely continued 3 minutes before the child began to gasp and give other signs of returning life, which increased until they were enabled to pour some salt and water down its throat. This excited a vomiting, by which the child threw up a considerable quantity of water and mud from its stomach, and in a few minutes more it was restored to the joyful arms of its mother. In the course of the evening, it had 2 or 3 convulsive fits, but these were of short duration and returned no more. The person who had taken the child out of the water ran for Mr. Boys, one of the medical assistants to this society. He not being at home, his journeyman went to the house, but he found the child pretty well recovered. A life was saved. The waterman had the reward promised by the society. I hope you've enjoyed that wonderful story. Today, the waterman, Thomas Vincent, would have been awarded a testimonial on Parchment and the women resuscitation certificates. And let's hope that baby John Joseph had a fruitful life in spite of the Napoleonic Wars, which would have been raging around him in his prime. 250 years and some 90,000 cases later, there is no diminishing the heartwarming glow that one experiences with each new case that comes before us. If you want to find out more about the Society and about some of our more recent award winners, please do look at our website. We are a registered charity and are heavily dependent upon donations. You can join the Society either as a friend for £25 per annum or for £100 per annum become a governor, which means you receive our annual report and can come to our annual general meeting and meet us and some of our brave awardees. Or if you prefer, please just make a donation via the easily visible donate button, all of which will help the Royal Humane Society in its 250th year to continue to recognise bravery and the saving of life. Thank you for allowing me to share this with you, and thank you for your support.